Black Friday sale discounts are here again, and I was asked on the EU forums yesterday by a good friend of mine, Colmaine, if I could do a short video looking at some of the tanks that are in the sale, and I said yes, why not? So I went out this morning, I picked 4 tanks which I thought and I think are really worth a look at. So without further ado, let's see which tanks I chose. Hello again everybody and welcome back to Fujit's Blitz, and as I said in the intro, this was a request video from a good friend of mine from the EU server, Colmaine, and he asked if I could do a sort of short review on some of the tanks that you will see in the Black Friday sale. Now, there are 7 tanks on sale, 6 of which are on sale for 30% discount and 1 as a 40% discount. I therefore decided to pick the 4 tanks I thought were really worth a look at. Now, I've completely ignored the AMX CDC because everybody sort of knows what that tank's like, the VK4503 and the IS-2SH, and I've picked 4 other tanks which I think are really worth looking at and possibly are worth you spending some money on. So which tanks did I pick? Well, straight off the bat, my first choice is the Stridsvagn 74 A2, which is actually a Swedish tank, but it's listed in the hybrid nation. Now, this tank has a 40% discount. It's the only one that has a 40% discount. And what's it like? Well, I like this little tank. I really do. I mean, it's a medium. It's an autoloader. But it sort of can be played like a TD. Okay, the armor isn't great, and the reload, because it's an autoloader, is pretty long. It's almost 14 seconds, but then it's only 2 seconds between shells. Now, the damage it dishes out isn't great either. It's about 160 alpha per shell, but when you're dishing 160 alpha out over a 3 clip, then you got the ability to knock out 380, which isn't bad at all. Now, it hasn't got the best HP, it's only got 950, and for its tier, it's a tier 6, it hasn't got the best DPM either, at 1665. The penetration's reasonable, 135, the damage is not bad, 160, but then you've got times 3. The rate of fire, pretty slow. The aim time, not too bad, it's 2 seconds. The depression is 6%, which is pretty poor. But I do like this tank. I mean, I do actually like it. It's a nice tank to run around in. It's got a reasonable turn of speed, and you can't play it like a frontline medium. You really can't. It's a medium stroke TD, really. I mean, if you play it more like a TD, then you'll have more fun in it. And I have a lot of fun in this tank. I mean, okay, the reload is a bit slow and the armor is a bit non-existent, but aside from that, it's actually not bad value for money. I mean, this tank will cost you 1,750 in gold, which I think is actually rather reasonable, and it's a nice tier 6. Don't get me wrong, at its tier it can hold its own. I mean, here I am on the Wastelands earlier today, and it's a tier 6 tier 7 game. And this little thing really can hold its own. It really can. It's a beautiful little tank to get around in. But you've got to be careful with it. Like I say with most tanks, it has a lot of vulnerabilities. The pen isn't that great, but you'll get good pen on certain things. It's not going to dish out massive damage. Okay, and that reload, once you've emptied the clip, is a little bit long. But once you get used to that, boy, is this tank good fun. I mean, like I said, I really enjoy going out in this tank. I really do. It's a different type of tank. And, whilst it's hybrid nation, don't get me wrong, this is a real tank in real life. I mean, the Stridsvagn 74 is a real Swedish tank. And it's nice to have a hybrid tank which is an actual tank rather than the HAL thing or the Dracula. And it's just a little bit different. I mean, this is look at it. It looks weird. It looks trollish. It looks a bit funny. And I love that about it. I love the fact that, it's a different type of nation. I mean, it's the only Swedish tank in Blitz. which is why they've stuck it in the hybrid nations. It's got a relatively decent gun. It's got relatively decent mobility. Okay, it's got not that best armor, but it's not too bad. And it's just a really fun tank, and it's different, and that's why it's on my list, because it's different. It's not your standard, typical, here we go again, it's a heavy or a medium or something, and it's just weird, and that's why I love it. And for 1,750 gold, wow, it's a bargain, guys. It really is. And you'll do some really good stuff with this. I mean, the poor AMX-13, I think he's AFK now, which is why we've left him alone. But, he's going to be wiped out. Okay, as I said, the reload is a little bit too high. But, hey, it's an auto-loader. And you stick an HE in. What can we do? We can get a really good roll of 226. Like I said, the gun on this is not bad at all. The other thing you need to remember, it's a great credit earner. So this is why it's my first pick. It's a bit different, it's a bit fun, and it's a good credit earner, and it's a bargain. Anyway, moving on. This is my second pick. This is the T-34 1776, which is an American Tier 8 heavy. Now, this tank is absolutely no different in any shape or form to the T-34. The only well, I say no shape or form. The only difference is the camouflage. This is obviously a special. It was done for Independence Day quite a long time back, and it came with this funky United States Falcon type camouflage for the 4th of July and Independence Day. Tank-wise, as I said, it is absolutely the same tank as the T-34. There's no difference. All the values are exactly the same. I, for the life of me, cannot see any difference whatsoever between the two tanks. If there is a difference, then I don't know what it is. Now, the cost of this tank is 5,250 gold, which isn't that bad. I mean, it's a good tank. The T-34 and the T-34 1776, one and the same, camouflage notwithstanding, is actually a really good tank. The HP is 1600, the DPM is just over 2000. It'll pen just shy of 250, and it'll dish out about 400 high alpha on the standard AP round. It's a good tank for this tier, and like most American heavies, you stick it hull down, and it's pretty difficult to pen you. I mean, the turret on this thing is pretty trollish. Why did I pick it though? Well, I picked it for a couple of reasons. One, it's a nice tier 8 heavy. It's not too dissimilar to the T-32, which is the tech tree heavy in the American line, but it's slightly better. I mean, the HP is a little bit better, and okay, the DPM's a bit lower, but the penetration is better, and the damage is better. And that's a nice tank. I mean, the T-32 is a really nice tank. And here I am rolling out of it on Himmelsdorf. Now, the reason I put this game in is because I want to show you the armor and the armor profile. Now, most people who have played the American line know full well that if you stick these tanks hull down, they're pretty difficult to pen, and they are. Now, we're not exactly a shrinking violet here. We're pretty high up in the order. We're the third top tank. And looking at the setup of the other team, we sort of kind of knew that everybody was going to go this way. So we're going to stick this all down, and we're going to bounce as much as we possibly can from the Louvre, the IS-3, and the Tiger P. We've already dished out just shy of 800 damage. Okay, we turned our turret to take the Tiger P there, and the Louvre managed to knock one into us. But he didn't knock another one into us. We bounced him though, but we get a critical hit. So far we've bounced 620, taken shy of 800. We're not doing too badly. Oh, he's hit the turret hatch. Yeah, you can pen those on this thing. It's annoying. I'm going to try and hit his. Nah, I miss. Pretty bad shot. He's now getting shots in because I'm sort of exposing a little bit too much. So I really need to jiggle and get my positioning back again. And there we go. We bounce and we stick one into his side, get another 440. We're doing not bad here. We've bounced 800. We've taken 1200 damage. It's not too bad. He's trying to get at that top hatch, but it's very small. I'm trying to do the same to him, but it's very small. Now I'm bouncing the IS-3. I mean, look at the bounces on this thing, guys. 1,500 bounces. And we've done 1200 damage. Now we've got to 1800 bounces. And now with, I've switched to APCR because I want to pen this Louver. He's becoming a pain for me. We're in a stalemate. We're still bouncing. Now bounce 2400. Now the Louver's getting frustrated. He's trying to rejiggle. So far, the damage that we've dished out hasn't even caught up with what we bounced. Then this is lovely. I mean, we bounced more than the hit points on this tank. Louver is utterly frustrated, and eventually he goes. We still haven't caught up with the bounces. Our damage is just over 2,000, and we bounced just shy of 2,500. We're not doing too badly. We've taken a few hits, yes, but we've got a 1,600 hit pool. That's not that bad. Here we're going for the JP2. What can we do? Yeah, we can get the shot in before the IS-3 comes around the corner and takes the angles away from us. Now we're trying to get to the SPIC. We still haven't caught up with the amount of damage that we've done compared to the amount that we've bounced. This is why I like this tank. You put it in the right position, you will bounce till the cows come home. The damage that it dishes out isn't too bad. It's quite nice. I mean, when you've got a 400 alpha roll on standard AP, you're going to have fun in this tank. And not only that, you can snapshot in it too. I mean, let's see if I can snapshot the SPIC. I'm waiting. I'm surrounded by tanks. Snap him. Yes, we can get a snapshot. And we get 3 kills. So, we get 3 kills. We bounce 2,400. We dish out 2,100. It's a good tank, guys. And that's why I recommended it. And that's why it's on my list of tanks. And it's a good credit earner, which is always a bonus. So, for 5,250 gold, you can have that tank. Next up, we've got one of my other favourite Tier 8 heavies. This is the KV-5 in the Russian line. Now, this thing, I do actually like this tank. Okay, it's big, it's bulky, it's cumbersome, but boy, is this a nice tank. It will also bounce. It didn't bounce that because somebody's taken me from behind, the T-54. But if you put it in the right place, you will bounce. And it's got a really good gun on it. I mean, okay, the penetration's just shy of 220, and the damage it will dish out is just over 300. It's a good tank. It's slow, and it's big. Yeah, it is big. I mean, the turret really does stick out a hell of a lot. And because it's a big Russian beast of a heavy, you get Russian trolley armor. So you get to bounce things left, right, and center. And again, we've bounced more than we've done damage so far. We bounced just shy of 1,000 and dished out just over 600. But it will do some decent damage, and it will bounce a lot. Now, this is a game I decided to show you because it goes to show how effective this tank can be. Now, okay, we're almost top tier, but we've got some pretty nasties on the other side, and one of those nasties is the KV-4, which is the Russian tier heavy at 8 in the actual tech tree. This is a premium, remember. Now, the cost of this one, again, is 5,250 gold, which I think is a really reasonable amount for the tank that you're getting. Now, I like the KV-4, so I would have thought the KV-5 would have been similar. But it isn't really. Okay, it's got more hit points at 1,600 compared to the KV-4, but the DPM is slightly lower by... I mean, the KV-4 is dishing out just over 2,000. This is dishing out just under 2,000 in 1,900. But boy, is it a nice tank. And if you angle it correctly and put it in the right positions, you're just going to annoy almost everybody. I mean, look at this. Bounce after bounce after bounce. I mean, I love this tank. I mean, it's got that trolley Russian armor. Okay, the reload's a little bit slow, but boy, when it works, it works. And again, we bounced more than we dished out, which is always a benefit. And there's a KV-4 there, and there's the T-34 that we've just sort of looked at. 2 really good heavy tanks at Tier 8. But this tank will take them in its stride. It really will. I mean, we're going to try and knock one into the T-34. We get a good 350 roll on him. Now we're backing away. We know he's got a long reload. He's decided to take somebody else out. He's been tracked. Maybe we can put something else into... Oh, look at that. Somebody's just tried to fire a HE into the KV-5, and it's done nothing. Not even splash damage. It's just a massive bounce. Oh, look at that. Bounce after bounce after bounce. It's a brilliant tank. I love this tank. And you know, you can put it on the front line, you can get up there, and you can play it like a real bully, trolly, heavy tank. Now we've dished out 1600, and we bounced just shy of 2500. Wow! I mean, I can't say anything other than it's a bounce machine. It really is. Okay, it's not a small tank. It's very big and it's very, very tall. In fact, it's a lot taller than its cousin over there, the KV4. And it's also got that strange little sticky out cupola on the top, like the KV4. Not as big as the KV4, but similar. And as you can see there, I mean, the KV4's arm is pretty trollish too. But this tank in the right hands is good fun. I mean, it really is. I mean, so far we've now done shy of 2,000, bounced a lot still, got 2 kills for our troubles, and now we've got 2 tanks left to get rid of. We've had a good rollout in this. You know, we've lost, okay, half our hit points, but we've been in the thick of the battle, we've been almost brawling, and look at this. Boom, 300 straight into the front of the Jag Panther 2. I mean, the poor guy. We don't get to the T-71 in time, but that's not a problem. Let's focus on the Jag Panther 2. Another 276 into him. Can we get the kill? Just got to aim it downwards. And, okay, he's only got 39 hit points, but we do. And we just managed to do more damage than we do bouncing. 3 kills. What a beautiful tank. And this is why this one is on my list. Because for 5,250, you're getting a really good tier 8 heavy. Really good. And the credits, as you can see, it's a really good little credit earner, which is always the thing that you need to look for in these premiums. Now, last but certainly not least is the T-34-85 Rudy. Now, this is basically a T-34-85 on steroids. The T-34-85 is, as we all know and love, a tier 6 medium. This, however, is a tier 7 medium, and there's a reason for that. It is literally on steroids. It's had a major buff on the HP and the DPM compared to its actual brother, the T-34-85. I mean, the HP on this is 1100, where on the T-34 it's only 930. The DPM, wow, I mean, the DPM here is 2,689 compared to the T-34-85, which is 1,722. This is a good tank. It's the same speed, it dishes out the same damage, it has the same pen values, it has a faster reload by 2 seconds, it's got better depression by 1 degree, it's got the same aim time, and it's got the same speed. So it is basically, like I said, a T-34 on steroids. And I apologize for this game. I mean, I went on earlier, and boy, was the ping off the charts. So, you know, everything looks a little bit out of sync, but that's just because of the pin. I love this tank. I mean, I like T-34 series anyway. I like the T-34 itself. I like the T-34-85. I like the Type 58. But I love this tank. I mean, it really is a beefed up version of the T-34-85, and boy, can you have some fun in this tank. Now, the cost of this one is 3,250 gold. That, in my opinion, is a bargain for this tank. What you get for that cost is a superb medium tier 7 tank. You really do. And if you like the T-34 line, you're gonna love this tank. It will just tear around the battlefield. It really does. Okay, I'm trouble there penetrating the Churchill. Sticky APCR in, however, you don't have a problem. Clearly. This tank, I cannot underestimate this tank. I mean, it is a completely different tank to the T-34-85 because of that reload and because of that DPM. I mean, this thing is a monster. It really, really is. And I love going out in this tank. I absolutely love running around the battlefield like a crazy man in effectively a T-34-85, but with an amazing reload time, a lot more DPM, and the strange trolly Russian armor that you get with the T-34 series. I mean, it's just an amazing tank. It really is. And every now and then you'll get to bounce stuff, which is also nice because it's that Russian armor. Guys, this is really worth the investment, in my opinion. I mean, 3,250 gold for this gem it really is a bargain. I mean, it's 30% off what you normally get, and boy, do you get an effective tank in your garage. I mean, look at this, 208 straight into the side of a Tiger P. Okay, like I said, you know, you're going to get penned. I'm down to 31 hit points, but you can still have fun in it. I love it. It's just a great little tank. And the thing about the T-34-85 series is it's got a great turn of speed at like 55 kilometers an hour. It does 20 kilometers an hour going backwards. This is a great credit earner. It will earn you credits left, right, and center. And look at this. I mean, you can hit and run, circle the rocks, come back, and then take out the T-34. The T-29. This is why I think this tank is really worth looking at. I mean, of all the tanks in the sale, this one is one of my top picks because you will never go wrong with buying a Rudy. You really won't. It's an awesome machine. I mean, look at me with this Comet here. I mean, I'm down to 134 hit points. I'm a one-shot. Wow. So, those are my tips, guys. The Stradvagon 74A2, because it's just a bargain at 750 gold. The T-34 1776, because it's a really nice tier heavy, even though it's got funky camouflage. The KV5, because it's a bully of a heavy. And the T-34-85 Rudy, because it's firstly a T-34 on steroids, and secondly, just a truly fantastic tank. Now, there are other things going on with the Black Friday. There's a load of other things like stickers, which you can lead to the Type 64 tank. There's the ability to get a TOG 2, which everybody should have an HMS Toddington. And there's loads of stuff going on, and you know, I suggest you click into the news on your hangar and have a look how it's all going to work out, because there really is lots going on with this. That's my tips, guys. As I said, this was a requested video, and I decided, yeah, why not? Let's give it a go. I wasn't going to review all the tanks. Like I said, I don't think there's any point reviewing the AMX CDC. Most people know what that's like. And I also didn't review the IS-2 SH or the VK4503, mainly because I think those tanks aren't as good as these four. Simple as that, really. And that's why they didn't make the review. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're still good tanks in their own right, but I think these four are better. But that's just my opinion, and my opinion may not be correct. Anyway, I trust this has been informative. Like I said, this was a requested video. I hope I've done these four tanks a bit of justice and given you some food for thought. Now, I just have to quickly point out, I don't work for Wargaming. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, so I'm not telling anybody to go out there and buy a tank. I was just asked to do a review on what was on offer, and I did that. And I think that some of these tanks are a bargain, especially this Stradvagon 74A2. At 1,700 gold, guys, it's a good bargain. The other tanks I think are really good for their tier and possibly well worth looking at investment wise, but it's up to you. It's not up to me. Simple fact of life. Yes, I have them in my garage. Yes, I enjoy going out and playing with them. I really do. As per usual, guys, please send me your comments, subscribe if you really want to, say like if you really want to, and until the next time, stay safe, have fun out there, and happy tanking, because that's what it's all about, having fun. Hey, I've been Fujit and you've been great. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it, and I'd love if you would press subscribe. Who knows, we can do some more. By all means, drop me comments, tell me what can be improved, and tell me what you'd like to see. I'd really love to know. Anyway, until the next time, guys, happy tanking.